Let's talk about how we would structure our actions, whether they're JavaScript or Docker. I don't really get into composite, but the reason you need to know these structures is that it might ask you on the exam about key files to make custom actions. So the idea is that you have a directory structure. The repository should contain a root directory named after your action or something meaningful. So hopefully that is clear. So notice here that your repo is named after your action. And that is one of the components to an action name. The other part is obviously the tag, as you've been using these actions. You've probably seen that commonly there before. Here on the right-hand side is our action.yaml. Notice it has our inputs and our outputs that are run. We already talked about those previously, so you should have an idea what those are. Let's talk about essential files. So you have to have an actions YAML file with the inputs, outputs, and main entry defined. The main entry here would be here, the main, okay? In JavaScript, you'd have to have an index.js, though I imagine you could probably change the name of it, but that's what it expects it to be. You have to have a package.json. And if there was a package.json, you would know that this is a custom action. I got a question on my exam saying, like, how do you know that this action is a it's JavaScript action? Because it has a package.json in it, which is not a really good answer, but it's the answer that they probably wanted. And you have to have a README to know how it works. If we're looking at a Docker container, looks very similar. Notice that we have, we're specifying the Docker file in Docker, and we can pass it some args. Notice that it has an entry point sh, and it has a Docker file. So remember those two things, as they asked me that on the exam as well, and that will get you another point, okay?